Hello and welcome to today's Dalal Street Week Ahead video. Now in today's Dalal Street Week Ahead video, we'll be taking a look at three stocks, which is Reliance Industries, Union Bank and Zomato. I'll share my view on them in terms of whether you're trading options, option buy or option seller, or simple equities. Apart from that, let's take a look at the news which will be affecting our market and how I think it'll affect especially the Nifty, Banknifty, Sensex and the large cap stocks. Now, coming to the news right now, everything is developed around one thing, the India-Pakistan issue, and on the ceasefire. This is a section of the public believes it's a very big mistake, and a section of the public says it's good. But according to me, the section of the public which believes it's a big mistake is way larger than the section of the public which believes it is a good decision. So now, due to this, I think anyone who says they can accurately say that, okay, tomorrow there'll be a gap up or gap down, what is talking rubbish. Why? Because simply this is one of the few scenarios I believe in which the price action is following the news rather than the news being already factored in completely into the price action. This is as I do not think when the market closed on Friday, even the biggest of big boys who will be getting the data in and news cycle leaks and everything had a clue about this happening. In fact, the people who watched my live on Friday know that I was exiting sell positions and taking the profits all across the board, whether it was Nifty, whether it was Banknifty, Reliance, Adani Transmission Gears, and many other names which I had mentioned. I'm actually glad I did that, as on one hand, people will say, yes, the public sentiment is bad, so we can expect a fall. On the other hand, some will say that the ceasefire will cause the markets to rise. So nobody knows. And I think this week, if you're day trading the market, especially, or even your positional trading, but day trading is more important in this aspect, do not hold a bias. We are going to get two-way moves. And how the market opens tomorrow is not going to determine, I think, how the market will even close tomorrow. And I will personally, when I go live with subscribers in tomorrow's trade session, I will personally skip the first 15 to 20 minutes of the trading session, as I think it will be too erratic for anyone to really know what the hell is going to happen. So anyone trying to trade the first 15 minutes will be sort of going towards the gamble rather than trading on actual technicals or anything. So that's my view for the market. I'm not covering that this news point, this data point is coming out globally or locally, because all that has been thrown to the back seat, and I don't think it will matter the whole week. This is everything is going to be centered about India, Pakistan, plus the sentiment people have right now towards the government of India on how they've handled basically the ceasefire announcement to military morale and everything. As everybody believes they've done a faux pas, and majority believe they've done a faux pas, and the market, I believe, will have to adjust to that reality also. So that's it on the news front. Let's take a look at the three stocks. I will start with Zomato, which is now called Eternal, and then I'll go to Union Bank, and then I'll go to Reliance last. Now, coming to Zomato, Eternal, according to me, right now, in Monday's trading session, I expect a lot of volatility between 243 to 216 to 220. And overall, on a positional point of view, as long as it is between this range, do not enter an equity. Do not even day trade it in option buying. Why I'm saying do not even day trade in option buying? Because this is going to be a very hard zone to judge. You can see, for example, it had done a huge climb that day. Basically, this must be Monday last week. Yes, Monday last week. And after that, it has fallen. So a lot of those guys who went in long here are trapped. And number one, how I look at it, if it breaks this, those guys are going to, at least 90% of them will run out, will cause a further fall. If it holds this, some of those guys might decide to average. So if they bought Zomato, let's say at, for example, 240, 1 lakh worth of stock, they might put in another 60,000, 70,000, however much they have in their account, or to the risk ability. And so this zone is going to be very important, and then this zone is going to be very important. So until it gets out of this zone, I don't think you should touch Zomato. Option sellers can touch it if they have a very high risk capacity. They can sell aggressive above 243, the cautious above 254. if the aggressive puts below 216, if the cautious puts below 200. So they can sell the range, but I personally will not be touching. In fact, most likely Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I will not enter any position option sales with clients, simply because of the fact the news cycle is too erratic. Zomato might want to go down, but the news cycle might pull it up. Or Zomato might want to go up and the news cycle pulls it down. So right now, I will let things settle. If you're very high risk trader, I would say, then you can sell this range or this range. Or otherwise, avoid. Equity, avoid this stock completely. This is as most likely in the medium term, this is going down. So even if it breaks this by chance and goes to this, it's just a trap. It's going to most likely start only head down towards 200 in the medium term. If it breaks that, then it's a goner. That's my point of view. I can be wrong. At times, every trader is wrong, but I believe higher likelihood medium term downhill for equity traders. Option traders is more of an instant, this expiry, what will happen this month or this week and that. So their dynamics are completely different. Now let's take a look at Union Bank. Now Union Bank is the only stock I hold a small CE position, sell position in. This is on Friday. The people who watched the live, as it was public for all, know I sold all my options, exited everything, took profits, and the only stock which I entered a fresh position was a C sell position in Union Bank. Why I entered it is basically when we look at the bigger picture, this move was largely due to the results. However, Union Bank has very strong resistance between 126 and 129, due to which I took since it was not a big position, I took a high risk decision and sold calls above 125. Why I sold calls above 125 is it is a small position compared to my usual size, and it was the first entry, sort of dipping the toe. So I am looking at selling more calls later on, and how I played it, that even if it rises towards this point, yes, the calls will go into a small loss, but then after that, I will use that, build a bigger option position in it. As this is the first entry, I plan to make 3 entries into Union Bank. Number one made on Friday, number 2 most likely sometime this week, towards the end of the week, how things are going, and number 3 maybe closer to the expiry date. So that's how I'm playing Union Bank. So my point of view on Union Bank is, even if it rises to 126 to 129, max it will rise then to 135, after which things will have to start cooling off and will come back down. But as long as it is within 126 to 129 and 113, this is a very strong range. If it breaks 113, it goes to 108. So technically, Union Bank is trading in 2 box ranges. Box range number 1 is 126 to 129 as a resistance and 130 as a support. Box range number 2 is 135 as a resistance and 108 as a support. So if you're a high risk trader, you can sell both calls and puts. But if you're going to do that, you better go to the outer range, not to the inner range. If you're more of a directional option seller for Union Bank, then I believe in the coming sessions, you can enter calls. As I said, I have entered already, and I most likely will only increase that position size. I've done an early entry. It's sort of like what people saw me do in Paytm last week. Paytm had a very good up move. I believed it was going to come down. In fact, I will open the chart of Paytm so as a reference, so as to explain. Daily, right? It had a very good up move on this day, and I believed this was not going to survive, as I had my volume bar candle beside my other indicators, the volume indicator, not the volume bar indicator, my trend catcher, all indicated that most likely this is going down. I had told everyone sell calls. We can see what happened the next 2 sessions, and we made a killing on those calls. So I see Union Bank as a similar type of stock, that it has had a very good day, but it has a very strong risk between 126 and 129. If everything were to rely purely on technicals, my trade should work out. But I'm not going to increase my position size in it until Wednesday, simply due to what the hell is happening in the India-Pakistan issue. Because nobody can know how that's going to be playing out in our markets. So I'm actually glad I did a first small position, and I will increase it later on. If it rises, I will deal with it as that's my first entry. And I'm used to basically dealing in option selling in this manner. So that's it on Union Bank. I have a bearish point of view in the basically bigger picture. Short term, yes, it can go till there, but I don't think so. It's worth it. If you're an equity trader, only consider it if it breaks 135. Consider it here. Risk reward is pretty poor. That's my point of view. Last, we'll take a look at Reliance now. Now, Reliance Industries is basically, it had a very good climb. And it is what really drove the Nifty to rise. This is, I've said so many times in my other videos, even in the lives, that unfortunately for us, the Nifty and Sensex and Banknifty do not actually show what the broader market is doing. And that's why most people, when the Nifty is rising, their portfolio is actually still going down, because the Nifty is being guided by 3 to 4 big names, and the other ones don't have the weightage that even if they perform well or they perform poorly, they will affect the picture. Now, my point of view for Reliance, I don't have any position in it. I booked my profits from my CE sales on Friday. So how I look at it now, because I have nothing writing on it, so I don't have a bias, that between 1368 and 1432, this is box range 1. If it breaks 1368, then it will be falling to 1322 to 1322. On the other hand, if it breaks 1432, it goes to 1475. Now, what should you do if you're an option seller? Option seller, either wait for it to break this or to hold this. If it holds this, then you can sell puts below, let's say 1322 if you want to be cautious, or aggressive 1368. If it breaks this, then you can sell calls above 1432. Why calls? I won't say go aggressive, is because of the current news cycle. It should not spur them. Option buyer, I think this will be a good thing to watch intraday. As it breaks this, then that will give you a very good shot of this. If it holds this, then do not enter. My point of view. Equity trader, I don't think you should consider Reliance now. In the bigger picture, at some point, it's going to fall to the support, in my point of view. So even if it does a rise, let it rise, and then you'll come back here and you'll be able to pick it up at this point or somewhere low around here. So that's my point of view for Reliance Industries, Union Bank, and Zomato. If you liked the video, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click on the notification bell. And if you want to be joining my live trading sessions, then WhatsApp to the number given in the description box, and someone will guide you on how to be joining them. Thank you.